Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, but also how we're going to fix it together. And the content that we're going to talk about today on this Sunday is the fallout that is beginning from this incredibly terrible and atrocious ruling out of a district judge in Oregon around Measure 114. Now, this has been lauded as the most extreme gun control, most progressive, most gun safety-oriented ballot measure that's ever been passed. And this judge just proved everything that the left wants. But that's another thing for another video. What I'm going to show you now is the fallout that's beginning to happen and what the next steps will be, because this is an important piece of this fight. They landed one blow, but the next blow is coming, I promise. And everything will be linked in the description box below. I can't wait to hear what you guys think about this one. And make sure, of course, you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn the notification bell on, because we are distributing freedom twice daily, and we would love to have you along for the ride. All right, my brothers and sisters, check this out. I'm going to show you that the media and how they're covering it. They're basically clacking their heels in the streets, to be quite honest with you. But let's go. Judge upholds stringent Oregon gun control law as constitutional. Well, yeah, of course the Hill is going to come out and say, look how happy I am. But here's what they're actually claiming and what the fallout would be if this was not the last step, because there's a lot of steps before this enactment. Check this out. The law, Measure 114, bans the sale, transfer, and import of gun magazines with more than 10 rounds for residents that are not members of the military or law enforcement. The measure, however, will not require current gun owners with high-capacity magazines to turn over their firearms, but does bar them from removing the weapons from their home for anything other than practicing or at a firing range, in shooting competitions, or for hunting, according to the Associated Press. And this is what the judge actually said, just to get you caught up if you were not familiar. Then we're going to go into the fallout, because that's the fun part. Check this out. Guns with high-capacity magazines are, quote, not commonly used for self-defense and are therefore not protected under the Second Amendment, Ingergut wrote in her ruling. Quote, the Second Amendment also allows governments to ensure that only law-abiding, responsible citizens keep and bear arms. Now, of course, I said earlier on, this is reaching and mental gymnastics from a leftist hack judge. Well, apparently, the people who were issuing this lawsuit or appeal, or the plaintiffs, they kind of agree. Listen to a few of the things they said here, and we're going to break these down because it highlights not only where the judge sits, but also the next steps, because this is where it's important. They may have just pissed in their own Cheerios and kind of screwed the pooch a little bit. Check this out. The lawsuit filed in November by the Oregon Firearms Association argued that the gun control law violated the Constitution. In response to Friday's ruling, the group said it, quote, wasn't entirely unexpected. Check this out. Quote, what we have read defies belief. While not entirely unexpected, Ingergut's ruling is simple nonsense and sure to be overturned at the Ninth Circuit. The group wrote in a statement posted to their website, quote, when faced with the clear and undeniable issues about all magazines being banned and the permit system being completely unworkable, she essentially said, not my problem. Quote, we are sure there will be plenty of parsing of this absurd decision in the coming days, but it was clear from the very first day that Ingergut was both painfully ignorant and in the pocket of Oregon's far-left Department of Justice, the organization added. And that is what we're going to focus on for a second. We're going to set up camp. Because the left, in their quest to do mental gymnastics to deliver a verdict they wanted or a decision they wanted in this situation, Ingergut may have just basically given them enough rope to hang themselves, because it's going to be appealed to the next circuit. And even in the Ninth Circuit, this is insanity. As they said, we're sure there's plenty of parsing, and we're sure that it was and it was clear from the very first day that Ingergut was both painfully ignorant and in the pocket of Oregon's far-left Department of Justice. This is an activist judge that may have just given the plaintiffs everything they need to go to a higher court and get it overruled, making it one step shy of the SCOTUS. They may have just screwed themselves and given them a couple more days, but in the end, this is a situation right here that might actually come back to bite them. And as the ruling says, it defies belief. And if you haven't seen the other two videos that I did on this, this is the most insane arguments that you've ever seen. They don't even have a modicum of sense tied into them. There is no goodness gracious. There is no legal precedent for what she's saying. There is no legal foundation for what she's saying. She just made this up whole cloth, completely. But the big thing here, and this is the part where we do this and what happens for us in the end, This is the passing on to the next generation part. The Ninth Circuit, going up the chain. As all of these things in this extreme gun control comes to a head, we're going to see very shortly if it's going to go our way or their way. And the things that Ingergut just shared with us as her decision are not going to help the gun controllers out at all. I promise you that. But we're going to cover it intensely as we go forward. So this is where we sit currently, because this is not being enacted yet. A separate suit was filed by the Gun Owners of America, the Gun Owners Foundation, and several individual gun owners, which claim the law violates the Oregon Constitution, the AP reported, because it does. Oregon Attorney General Ellen Rosenblum praised Friday's ruling, acknowledging that the law cannot move forward until trial scheduled for September is heard in the lower court. So even though this district judge ruled in this one in an absurd, insane, mental gymnastics, leftist Department of Justice of Oregon situation, it still can't be enacted because the state level court is still in place. And that's what we got for you. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I will see you on the next one. I'm Braden. See you later.